Knud Rasmussen was born in Greenland in 1878. He explored northern Greenland and the Arctic regions of the American continent as far as the Bering Strait. When he died in 1933, he had become a national hero. Knud spent his childhood in a vicarage in Greenland, his youth in a vicarage in Denmark. He belonged to two worlds. He was two different persons. He really would have liked to have been an actor. In 1902, Knud joined a Greenland expedition. He felt he was at last onto the real thing. After a journey lasting 18 months along the west coast of Greenland, the expedition completed a sledge journey to the north, from Upernavik across the Melville Bay. For several centuries, there had been no communication between the west coast and the extreme north of Greenland. Already as a child, Knud had been told that in the far north there lived a people who ate raw meat and whose clothes were made from bearskin. These were the people he wanted to meet, the Eskimos of the Arctic. The expedition had to winter in a primitive cave-like dwelling made of rocks and earth. Knud felt at home here. When he returned to Denmark, he traveled around giving lectures, illustrating with lantern slides. His friend Peter Freuchen, who had also been in Greenland, accompanied him. Knud wanted to open the eyes of the Danish people to the Arctic Eskimos and their cause. This was the first time the Danes had heard of their way of life. New people, he called them, real people. On several occasions, he encouraged the Danish government to take the initiative to do something for these people's future, but with no luck. The government was not interested. Knuth was married in 1908. Two years later, he traveled north again, having raised enough money to set up a private trading station at Tula. The northernmost house in the world was built. Peter and Knuth felt at home among the Tula population. Peter married an Eskimo girl. The trading station became the starting point for many of Knuth's expeditions. In 1912, the first Tula expedition set out, 600 miles by dog sledge across the inland ice. They carried 1 month's provisions with them. The expedition was to last for 6. On the east coast, they came across a herd of musk oxen, which saved their lives. The expedition accomplished what it had set out to do, and the Peary Strait was struck off the map. It just didn't exist. After a journey lasting 5 months, they were back at Tula. Knuth felt isolated and lonely. He longed to return to his family in Denmark. He had now been away for 3 years. He returned to discover that he'd become a celebrity.
Polarfaren Knud Rasmussen, længe leve!
Hurra! Hurra! Hurra!
That winter, Knuth returned to Tula. Give me winter, give me dogs, and you can keep the rest yourself, he said. He was never happier than when he was out on a sledge journey. The trading station had served its purpose. The hunters now had guns and ammunition. The women, new domestic utensils. In 1916, a new Tula expedition set out. From the very beginning, Knuth stressed that everyone, Eskimos and scientists alike, took part with equal rights and duties. Freuchen had a bad fall down a crevasse and had to remain at Tula.
Hey!
27 sledges and 354 huskies. the northernmost settlement, the sledges were replenished with provisions. Three weeks later, the last of the supporting sledges was sent back. Only 8 men continued. Their main task was to map the last unexplored stretch of Greenland's northern coast. As provisions became scarce, their whole existence depended on successful hunting. They searched for evidence of the old migration routes of the Eskimos and found coral 260 million years old. They took specimens of the vegetation. Traveling conditions became tougher as they went on. It was hard to find food for the return journey. Hendrik Olsen, a Greenlander, went hunting one day and vanished without a trace. The others searched for him for 3 days, but in vain. The return journey had to be speeded up. They chose the direct route across the ice cap. By the time they reached the edge of the great ice cap, they had eaten the last of the dogs. Knud went ahead to fetch help, while the others continued at a slower pace. The botanist, a Swede, had no strength left and asked the others to carry on and leave him behind. His body was never found. The others struggled on and returned with the expedition's records intact. Back to Copenhagen, but this time in mourning. Knud retired into the country to concentrate on his work, to plan new expeditions. He decided to travel to eastern Greenland to collect old myths and legends.